All right, guys, it's time for that site visit, and you might be a little nervous. If it's your first one, you're not familiar with a lot of remodeling, and what do you do, and what do you start with? And of course, like anything else, being prepared makes it that much easier. So, if you've gathered a lot of information for that project prior on the phone, maybe some emails, maybe you've pre-built it in CoConstruct, and maybe you've asked some questions on CoConstruct to clarify, built all your specs, there shouldn't be too much that you need in that site visit to get your head wrapped around the rest of the project. So, what are you going to do? Of course, well, you need to bring some important pieces of important tools. One is something to measure with, and obviously your tablet with your Hover app and your Magic Plan app already set up and understanding how to use it. The worst thing you want to do is kind of be bumbling around with that. You want to bring your folder. You probably want that site visit worksheet that's already half filled out. You can, for a guide, have some notes. Obviously, if it's a 203K and there's a lot of health and safety items, you might want to bring that, that FHA 203K checklist so you can kind of go line by line. You will learn about that checklist in the renovation loan certificate that will be after this training. But just so that you know, it's going to be a nice checklist for you. So you got to go in. You got to go in with a lot of energy, excitement about the project. It might be your 5th kitchen that day, but it's their kitchen. So you want to be able to be in it. So, I love doing it. Oh, look, it's going to be beautiful. And you really want to build that rapport and that excitement. So go into it, prepare yourself, maybe get there, don't be rushing. Sometimes get there 5 minutes early, sit in the car, do some breathing, center yourself before you go in. When I go into when I go and knock on the door, I check to see when they open that door if their shoes are off. Really big thing. If their shoes are off, you'd say, okay, let me take my shoes off for you. Make sure they really deny you doing that if you're going to leave your shoes on. But it's definitely a great thing to look for. And then go in there and you're going to be asking a lot of questions. And I can't emphasize this the most. Is gather the most information and get as many pictures as you can. And sometimes you might have to ask them hey, do you mind? Can you just step aside for a second? I've got to take a ton of photos right here because those photos are going to help me if I've missed anything right now. And when you take photos, you're really going to want to stand back. None of this, get some wide view angled shots so that you can really be able to understand the total scope of the project, by checking out those photos. So you go in there, you get yourself prepared, you have your packet, you have your site visit already filled out, you maybe have some notes of some questions, and you take a bunch of photos and then just try to build as much rapport with them as you can. So that you can be as a person, and then talk about the company and why we're different and why we're going to solve their problems. Now, you have that whole Perfectus system that Larry talks about that is going to be really helpful on really the tactics of those conversations and how to go about it. But for us, the main things is understand how to use your Hover, bring in your site visit worksheet with most of it filled out. Go in with a positive attitude, make sure you're scheduling your stuff where you have some downtime in between so you can rejuvenate yourself, get your energy back so you can get excited about their project. And understand the biggest thing is to understand that this is very new for them too. People don't remodel their house or put in that new kitchen every week. So it might be the first time that they've even had a contractor in their house, and it can be, overwhelming for them. So go in, feel good about it, feel as a consultant you're going to help them out, and go be prepared, have as much data prior so you can really just kind of talk to them about their solutions. Now, the biggest thing, what happens if they ask questions that you don't understand or you don't know about? It's very simple. Say, hey, I'm here to gather some data. I'm going to write that question down. I don't want to say the wrong answer right now, but I'm going to take some photos. I'm going to take some measurements, and I'm going to get back to you. And when we do our review, I will have those answers for you. So that's the perfect answer for that question. Anything that's outside of your wheelhouse, hey, I'm here to gather some information. Thank goodness I got the pros all behind me and the actual project manager and all the trade partners that are very familiar, and I'm going to just take some photos, some brief measurements, and I want to get you the most accurate answer for that question. So let me get back to you in the next day or something. So go out there and enjoy it. It's fun. You're there. You're the solution person, and you're going to bring solutions to people, and that's what's really exciting. So go in it with really positive, keep that energy high, and you're going to do awesome. Thanks, guys.